We're going to practice completing the square. The first step, we're divide the b term by 2 and square the number. So we're going to see the different types of things that can be out there. First off, let's start with an easy number. A nice even number, which is in this case 18, divided by 2, which will be 9, which means I know I'll have like an x plus 9 in my quantity, but 9 squared is 81. That's all we're going to do here. So let's make the 30 divided by 2. This will give me my 15 number. My middle number will be x plus 15. I will square it, but I'll have a 225 to have to add to each side for completing the square. These next ones are odd. So what do? I just divide it by 2. And if it won't go in evenly, I leave it that way and then square it, which will be 1/4. Oh, so go up here. Will 2 go into 7 evenly? No. So simply just square it. I know my number will be 7/2 that I'm looking for inside for my term. Inside the parenthesis term will be plus 7/2. Square this, and I get 49/4. Will 2 go into 15? No. So I'm going to divide it by 2. But 15/2 will be my number in the parentheses. And when I square it, I'll get 225/4. Do y'all see a pattern happening here? When it becomes a fraction with a 2 in the denominator, my bottom number becomes a 4 because 2 squared is 4 every time. So all I'm really doing is when it won't go evenly is square the top number and putting it over 4. Yeah, think about it. 9 squared is 81/4. 25 squared, 625/4. But technically I divided by 2 and then squared it. Now, but let's do what happens when I have a fraction. Ooh, well, when you divide by fraction, when you divide by 2, it's the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. It's 1/2. Dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by 1/2 because you're taking half of it. So with the fraction, let's just multiply it by 1/2. Well, 1 times 1 will be over 8, which I will then square. So I get 1/64. Hey, wait a minute. So I'll take 3/5 times 1/2. It's the same as dividing by 2, which will be 3/10, which I square, which would be 900. Now 3/10 and 1/8 would be the numbers in the parentheses. Hey, wait a second. My top number didn't even change. That's right, because you're multiplying by 1. And your bottom denominator is just doubling. The numerator is going to stay the same. Denominator is going to double, so that's 5/18. But then I got to square it, which would be 25/324. Oh, multiplied by 1/2. 5 will stay the same, and the 6 will double. 12, which I square, would be 25/144. And then 11 times 1/2, 11 over the 13 doubles 26, which is 121/676. Oh, man. So when I have a fraction, I really just got to double the denominator. Ooh, cool.